Hi everyone, welcome to the second video in our fun shark page from Lost Ocean. Now we have this shark here today. Now he's a bit easier for me because we don't have any coral, so I don't have to think about what colour to do that, so we just have these sorts of plants. I'm going to do all of the plants in conventional greens and then I'm going to do the shark in blue. So I'm thinking if I do the sort of bluey greens, then it probably work better with the blue shark. That was my thinking anyway. So I'm going to start actually with a really dark green. I'm just going to sharpen it and do this sort of grassy type bits. So this is the deep cobalt greens. It's a really dark green. I'm just going to start over here and work my way across the page. Now I was thinking about the shark's teeth because I didn't colour them on the first shark and I'm probably not going to. But actually this paper isn't white, it's sort of cream. So you could have a go at colouring them in a white pen or a white pencil, and it may just show up a little bit. So maybe I should have done that. But I'm not too worried about it. I'm not sure I want to draw attention to their teeth. Anyway, so basically I'm trying to fade the colour a little as I go to the end of each piece, but it's, oh, that one is part of that. I shouldn't have coloured that. Hang on. I should try to erase it a little, but it's unlikely it's going to work. But, oh, I'll just take it back a tad. Oh, a little bit's come back, come off. Won't hurt anyway. Okay, so we'll leave that bit. We'll come on to this one here, I think. And go all the way along to the end. I've got a house to myself today. It's a little rare. My husband, he's had a bad back, so he's off all last week, so I had him in the house, and then on Monday, he went in on Monday, but my children had a half day, so I didn't have the whole day to myself, but today I do. So it sounds silly, but I rather like the fact that I can record in here without having to close the door. It just means that if I need something, I can just pop out and get it quickly, without having to open the door and open their door and all that. It's a bit of a sort of hassle, and also I don't have to worry, you know, ask them not to make too much noise and things like that. I don't like doing that really, but you know, sometimes it has to be. Like yesterday my husband was working from home, and he was on the phone, you know, a sort of phone meeting, and I was on the phone. He had to leave the room because he couldn't hear anything because of my talking. I was like, made me feel a bit guilty, you know. Okay, so we've got two bits left. I want to do them in quite different colours. Still our bluey greens, but I'm thinking maybe I'll go for this one. I'm just going to give it a sharpen and then look at what it's called. I've just grabbed it. What is it? It's the Phthalo Green. Okay, and I'm going to do this plant here. Not for any particular reason, but you can see it's quite a different shade of green to the other one, so that's nice. It's still the same sort of bluey green, but it looks different, so it adds a bit of interest, I think. I'm doing the same technique here, just going a little darker near the stem. I don't know if it's a stem. Anyway, the centre, and then lighter to the tip as much as I can in the small space that I've got. I mean, I was worried that I'd left a bit of white, but actually it doesn't matter if you leave a bit of white. It just sort of shows the lights catching or something. I had good fun yesterday doing a picture thinking about white. I was doing a picture from Matchstick Mouse floral colouring book, and I had found the page which is the cover, and the cover is coloured in by the author, Morgan O'Brien, so I tried to copy his colours and style on my version. Now his is coloured digitally, so very different to pencil obviously, but I had a go at copying the colours. I also used my Staedtler design journey. I've only got 24, so I had to make a few colours because I didn't have them all, which was fun in itself. And yeah, I was really pleased. I did photograph it and put it up to go on my Facebook page at some point. I tend to schedule the pictures that go up on there. When I do a picture I really like, take a photo and pop it up on there for you guys to see at some point. But I tend to get a little bit ahead of my posting there, which is fun. And so I did that, and it will be in my completed pages, which you would have seen actually if you haven't. If you haven't, you can go and have a look. My January completed pages, it'll be in that video, which I haven't filmed yet because it's not the end of January. Getting ahead of myself a little bit, which is always rather nice. Now our last one here and here, I'm going to do those the same as if it looks the same. Can you see it looks like it's sort of going like that. I'm thinking I could let's do the Chrome Oxide Green Fiery. Gosh, it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? But I shall show it to camera. Oop, there we go, Chrome Oxide Green Fiery. And I'm not sure, how should we do this one? Should we make the centres a bit darker and then paler to there? I think that's the easiest way to do it. I'm all for easy. I mean, it's probably easier to just keep it all the same colour, though I find that quite hard, to be honest. Trying to make something even colour wise. I'm going to do this centre bit all the way along, and then basically do less layers as I come out towards the edge of each little leafy bit. Looks a bit like seaweed to me. And as I say, our shark's going to be blue, but I think I need to do him like a greeny blue rather than the grey blue to match these greens. So maybe cobalt, not sure, I'll have a look in a minute and have a think. If I look now, I'll go out of the lines. Try not to take my eyes off what I'm doing. It's like driving, don't take your eyes off the road. It's not quite as dangerous as driving. If you go out of the lines, it's not too disastrous. No, I don't like driving. It makes me so anxious. I just didn't want to do it. My sister was like, oh, you'll be fine. Once you get to drive on your own, you won't be anxious. But I was. I didn't like it. So I just stopped. I think I'm going to use this. This is quite small. It's the Cobalt Green. It is a blue, I think. And then I'm maybe use a slightly darker one on top after. So I'm going to try and do this in just a evenish layer, like we did with our shark yesterday. And then see how we go. I say yesterday, I'm not too sure because this this video will be broken up by a Monday video at some point. Possibly tomorrow if I schedule it in the way that I'm planning, but sometimes I change my mind and move videos around a bit. So we'll see. See what happens. Because I know someone's sending me a book to review, so I'll try and slot that in somewhere. But she's sending it from abroad and we aren't getting foreign mail at the moment, so I don't know how long it's going to take to arrive, really. Ooh, my pencil moved then. It made me jump. Oof. And I went out the line. Did you see me jump? very jumpy today. Goodness, I don't think it was that loud, it was just a surprise. Yeah, I am quite a jumpy person though. Whew, just trying to chill after that. Just push my shoulders back. Take a deep breath. Relax. Just a pencil. It's quite funny what can scare us, isn't it? Oh, I had a horrible dream last night. It was very weird. I was dreaming that I was sitting at a table with people, I think. And they were going, oh, it's coming towards you, it's coming towards you. I was like, what is it, what is it? And they said, oh, it's a fly. And I was like, it's just a fly. And I could sort of feel something coming up, pushing against my back really hard, like it was a big thing. I was like, ooh. And I woke up with this bit of a scare. So that wasn't very nice. But anyway. I don't know what was going on in my head. I don't like flies, but I'm not scared of them. They annoy me. You know, I think they probably do most people, to be honest. Buzzing around and spreading disease. But anyway, it's a very odd dream. But I had my covers were tucked around me really hard. It was quite cold last night and I was feeling quite cold, so I tucked everything right around my neck and my back, so I think that was probably the reason. Of course I woke up hot after that, so I untucked myself a little bit and I went back to sleep. So it took me a little while to calm back down after that dream. I always wonder what causes us to have vivid dreams. I think everyone dreams, but you just don't always remember them. My one son says he never dreams, but my other one says he does, but he doesn't remember them, but he'll wake up knowing he's had one, but you know, it won't necessarily stay in his head for long. It's very funny, isn't it? I've heard theories about it's sort of how we process what's happened in the day and things like that. I don't know. Oh, I missed a bit down here. But I do find it. I remember when I first started studying psychology, there was a girl in our seminar group who was fascinated by dreams, what they meant, interpretation of dreams. But when you study psychology, you don't do things like that. Well, the course we did was all very scientifically based, and dream studies aren't really considered to be scientific. There isn't a lot of, not interpretation of dreams at least. I mean, the use of dreams and, you know, why we dream, that is, but the actual what we dream and the meaning of that isn't really. So the Cobalt Turquoise I'm grabbing, I'm going to do a little bit around the edge like I did with this shark. I'm going to do it with this one as well. I'm going to put a darker layer all the way around. I may go back to my other blue after and add a bit more, but I'll see how it goes. I'll see how it looks when I've sort of put this layer. I'm going to try to sort of fade it in a little bit towards the middle, and then I may not need to blend in the other colour. But, you know, if we do, we do. I'm not trying to sort of rush and skip bits. If I feel it's necessary, I'll do it. But yeah, so she wanted to do something on dreams, but the tutor was like, well, it's not really what the sort of thing that we do. So I don't know whether she stayed on the course or not. She did that group, that seminar. I think she hung around for that one. But with the universities, you always lose a lot of students at Christmas. It's quite interesting. Apparently, when students go home for Christmas, often they find they can't cope with going back. You know, they've missed their family, find it difficult to cope with sort of the thought of going back away from home again. But I did my first degree, I stayed at home. I just wasn't ready to leave home, but I wasn't ready to get a job. And I really enjoyed studying, so I thought I would go to a local university, and I had a great time. It's one of my happiest times, I think. I mean, not that I'm not happy now, but as a student, I was living with my parents, so I had no financial responsibility. I was really enjoying what I was studying. I was learning new things all the time. You know, it was I was getting lots of fresh air, lots of exercise, because I was walking to university every day, or I think 4 days a week I went in, I can't remember now. I didn't make loads of new friends, but there were lots of nice friendly people to talk to. I didn't necessarily bond closely with any of them, but you know, that was all good. I was happy with that. I'm not the sort of person that needs 1,000,001 friends. Anyway, I've probably got 2 close friends that I see. Not that one of my friends I see 3 or 4 times a year, and the other one maybe a little more often. You know, I don't. And then I do have online friends, but for me that's a little bit different. You have a different relationship with online friends. I feel sometimes you can open up a little bit more because you're hiding behind your screen, but other times you can't. It depends what you're talking about, really. It's interesting. And I also find, because a lot of my online friends are from different countries, there's a bit of a cultural difference, which sometimes leads to a bit of a misunderstanding. Not a nasty one, but an interesting one, and I learn so much, and that's good fun. I'm grabbing my Cobalt Green again. I'm just going to do a few fiddly bits, you know, just tidying up here and there. So I find that really fun as well, learning like things that I say that people don't understand or haven't heard of before, and vice versa. That can be fun. Things that we do very differently in different countries, you know, it's great. So I think that's all good fun. But I'd say it's a bit different because you can't go for a walk or a coffee, you know, but you can still have a good chat about different things. And yeah, it's good. So there is research saying that being with someone is better, but sometimes it's just not possible. So I think we'd have to just do what works for us, you know. Some people can't go out, you know, not very mobile, can't afford to, or whatever it might be, or they don't have people living near them that have common interests. So it's just a new way of making friends, I think. I think there's also something in that, the importance of touch. So if I meet a friend for real, we'll have a hug, whereas online I can send a virtual hug, but obviously it's not the same thing. So there's a bit of that as well. But I find it all very fascinating. Right, I think I am done with that shark. I'm rather liking those colours together, even if I say so myself. But there he is. I'm going to make that do. I'd rather like a darker blue shark as well, so we will do other colour sharks. I don't know whether to stick with greys and blues for sharks. I feel like those are the correct colours, in quotes, or whether to mix it up a bit and do some reds and oranges, but I'm not sure my brain will allow me. We'll see how it all goes. I might get bored of doing greys and blues by the next page. I might actually just go off and look at some pictures of sharks and find out what colour they are, because if I find out they're like orange or pink or purple or green or brown or whatever, I might do some different colours anyway. This guy, next picture, there's not much shark. There's an awful lot of detailing on that one. So that'll be interesting, be a bit different. But that's me for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.